At the break of dawn, many of us are probably still asleep. But for the brave men and women of the RSAF, their day is already in full swing. Because being entrusted with search and rescue operations means being on alert at all times. Because when the time calls for action, we have to be ready for it. The search and rescue operation is live and underway. As you can see, not a minute and not a second goes to waste. The search and rescue team is responding to an emergency where a patient is in need of immediate medical attention and is located in a forested area that's not easily accessible. The team utilizes the Super Puma for rescue missions. The Super Puma is equipped with a forward-looking infrared camera system that allows the pilot to search for casualties in different terrain and all-weather conditions. The helicopter is also equipped with a winch to hoist casualties in missions. As a qualified search and rescue captain, Captain Tan Wei Ming and his team are responsible to respond to any life-saving mission at a moment's notice. Having scrambled for multiple rescue missions before, he shares his experience with other teams so that they collectively improve and sharpen their skills.
It started out when I was a kid, and your parents bring you over to the air show and you see the amazing planes and you just want to get into them and think how cool it would be to fly them. Very soon after, I had to wear glasses, so I thought my dreams were dashed until I met SYFC and they told me that actually even if you're bespectacled, you can still fly. So that's when I started flying with the Youth Flying Club, and that's when my passion grew. I decided to take the next step forward and pick it as part of my career.
As a search and rescue medical officer, Captain Dr. Goh is often on standby around the clock to ensure that patients requiring emergency medical evacuation are stabilized and treated in flight.
So I'm a search and rescue medical officer, part of one medical squadron of the Republic of Singapore Air Force. So what we do is we are an operational unit and we are on call 24/7 who need urgent medical evacuation via air. So when the scramble call comes, we are activated and we head to the aircraft and we take off in a very short time.
While Captain Tan is ensuring his team gets to the location with the utmost urgency, Dr. Goh is getting his team and equipment prepared so that when the search and rescue team arrives, not a second goes to waste when they recover the patient.
If we're lucky, we get the coordinates through the phone. If not, it will be on the fly. They'll pass us the coordinates in the aircraft. We'll punch it into the aircraft systems and we'll fly over to wherever we need to be to pick up the casualty. Once it's all done, we'll fly back to the hospital, drop off the casualty and head back and wait for the next mission. If we fly out far out to sea, the weather could be unpredictable. The winds could be strong and gusty. More often, when we are picking up the casualty over a ship that is not suitable for landing, we'll have to do a winch. And when that happens, the pilot has to maintain a hover. It's challenging at night when we do not have visual reference, especially out at sea when there is nothing but the ship, yourself and the sea. So you just have to maintain a hover, fight against the weather, trust the training that you've been given.
However, there is a problem. The helicopter is faced with strong gusty winds. With the weather against them, Freezer must keep the helicopter hovering steadily while the winchman races against time to rescue the casualty. As the aircraft hovers above the location, we see the winchman getting ready to winch down to place the patient on the stretcher and retrieve him to be medically attended to.
Winchman, take caution. We are experiencing some strong winds.
As you can see, teamwork is vital to a successful rescue mission because everyone has their part to play when it comes to saving lives.
SAR search and rescue environment is a very austere environment. There's very poor lighting if we fly at night. there's constant vibrations which can affect care of our patients. We work in a very small team as compared to in hospitals where if the patient is very sick, you have multiple nurses and multiple doctors to take care of the patient at all times. Furthermore, when it comes to communication, noise is an issue. Sometimes we aren't able to communicate over the communication set, so that hinders our operations sometimes.
The team heads for the nearest medical center, and with that, the search and rescue mission is a success.
What motivates me in my job is that knowing I play a very big part in saving lives, knowing that we can make a difference in someone's life hits a bit different for me. So when I'm out there and I pick up a casualty and I bring him back, and to know that they've been waiting out there for us, it's a very satisfying feeling knowing that we managed to save somebody's lives.
I'm currently actually a full-time national serviceman doing this search and rescue duties, and it's a very heavy responsibility to bear. And despite this, I come to work with a sense of purpose. I never imagined that I would be having such a fulfilling and meaningful journey as a doctor in the RSAF. So the search and rescue team is extremely important to the RSAF because we are the last line of defense for any sailors and seamen who call for distress. If there's any life-threatening emergencies that require evacuation by air, we are the ones who will pick the patient up and transfer them to a tertiary level of care.
As an NSF, he never imagined that his 2 years of full-time national service would be so meaningful and fulfilling. For him, it has truly been a life-changing experience being able to save lives in the air. When called upon, he carries out the rescue mission with courage and conviction. Continuing on a 50-year-long tradition, the RSAF is always on standby 24/7, ready to respond so that others may live.
For 126 Squadron, this has been another successful mission, but even if that alarm doesn't sound, we appreciate these heroes for standing by 24/7.